Alright, so here's my Vitex tree. I'm going to show you how I prune this. It's March, and I usually try to prune it in March before it starts to bud. Vitex trees are really good trees for pollinators. I mean, I tell you, when this thing blooms, there's hundreds and hundreds of bees, wasps, all kinds of different pollinators that show up for this tree. So if you're in the South, be sure you get you a Vitex tree, and you'll really enjoy it. As you can see, the Vitex kind of grows like a shrub or a bush, a really large bush. There's a lot of lower foliage or branches that come off. The way I like to trim mine is like you would do a crepe myrtle. So I'll remove a lot of the lower branches here and then keep and accent a lot of the upper branches, and I'll show you that. So as you can see down here, there's a lot of suckers that are coming off really low that I'm going to remove, but I want to keep these main trunk lines that are coming up here, and I'm going to follow those all the way up and just prune as I go up. You're going to want to go ahead and remove any branches that are crossing, damaged, disease. Also, my focus is on any kind of branches that are growing inward. So here are the tools I'm going to use. Got some gloves for safety. Here's a saw for my larger branches that I can't get with my loppers. Loppers for kind of the medium-sized branches, and these for a lot of the small branches so I can get in and move quickly. Alright, as you can see here, I knocked a couple of lower branches off, and then I'm going to go in and clean all these small ones up. Okay, so this is a good example of an interior branch. This branch here that's going up this way is crossing this, and that trunk there. And it's just going to create congestion in the center. You really want to open up the center, and a lot of your branches coming outward from this. So I've been training this branch here for about 2 or 3 years now, and I'm starting to realize it just doesn't fit within the envelope of the tree. So the tree is obviously in a garden bed, as you see here, and this branch, even though it fills the backside of the Vitex, it's starting to kind of grow into the garden area, and I'm going to want to plant some flowers and things like that. So I just feel like it's going to be impeding to this area, and I'm going to go ahead and take it out, and that way this Vitex will be more focused on this side of the garden bed. It was probably about 2 or 3 inches in diameter, and I cut it at a cross cut with that little handsaw. Bad idea. I mean, it took me a while, but I got it. The tree still has a lot of structure to it, upward structure, and it really kind of slimmed it up some here. So the other thing I'll mention about the Vitex is that you're gonna gain a lot of this growth back in this lower area throughout the spring. And so don't worry about trimming it back. Really, you could just, at the end of the season or this time of the year before things start to flower and blossom and bud, go ahead and just cut it back. So hopefully, as you can see, I've reduced this to about 2 main branches, more coming this away from the house and away from the garden bed that it's in. So I've spent some time studying this thing, and I think I've got it close. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wait for today, maybe come back tomorrow and finish trimming. It gives you a different perspective, because sometimes when you stare at it a lot, you start to not see some of the things that you would normally see with fresh eyes. Day 2, you can see where we cut away a lot of the lower branches and opened up this side of the garden. It's just going to bring in a lot more light and allow for more plantings lower in this section. So I'm going to start working my way up the Vitex and start to remove any branches that are interior or crossing, or a lot of these kind of small branches that just seem out of place, and just to kind of clean it up and give it some more structure. So as you can see here, this branch splits, right? Goes this way and goes this way. I'm going to go ahead and cut this branch off. The reason being is that that branch hangs out more over my lawn, and I have to really mow around that. So if I just leave this branch, it kind of takes more of an upward route and then stays out of the way of my mowing path. The other thing, after I cut this, I'm going to go ahead and clean all these small lower branches off. So as you can see, I've removed all the lower branches, and I've selected 1 leader going all the way up for this branch.